ceasefire in Gaza, what does it really mean? For some, it's a flicker of hope, a chance for families to breathe, to return home, to see children playing in the streets again. Just imagine the relief for civilians who've lived under the constant shadow of violence. They can finally access humanitarian aid, rebuild their lives, and reconnect with their loved ones. It's a moment of pause, a brief respite in a long and painful journey. But let's not get too carried away. This ceasefire, as hopeful as it sounds, is just that, temporary. History tells us that ceasefires often unravel, and without addressing the root causes of this conflict, we risk falling back into chaos. What's the point of a ceasefire if the underlying issues remain unaddressed? And then there's the question of fairness. Critics argue that these agreements can favor one side, creating an imbalance that breeds resentment. If one party feels cheated, how can we expect any real progress? Trust is another big hurdle. Deep-seated mistrust between the parties can undermine even the best intentions. If both sides can't believe in the sincerity of the ceasefire, violations are bound to happen, making future peace efforts even more complicated. Let's not forget the structural issues at play: economic inequality, resource distribution, political instability. A ceasefire doesn't magically resolve these problems. It merely pauses the fighting. So while we see aid trucks rolling in and families starting to rebuild, we must ask ourselves, is this a genuine step forward or just a Band-Aid on a much deeper wound? The ceasefire has potential, but it's just the beginning of a much longer journey. What do you think? Is it a glimmer of hope or just a temporary fix?